Welcome back to the Unstoppable podcast. Today I'm joined by Danny Rae, our lovely friend, but also HYROX Ambassador too on the UK team. And today we're going to be talking about basically our goals of future Elite 15s, both of us. I'm a little bit further away from Danny. Danny's incredible at what he does, incredible athlete. He's like, stop it. He's just stop it. Incredible athlete at what he does. And also as well, we decided to watch the Elite 15 men's race just to give you an insight of what goes through our heads when we're racing, as well as watching these guys race, because how we watch them and analyse them, we translate that to our race and game plan and strategy. And I think you guys will get a massive insight to this. Oh, obviously you're racing in London next week.
Yeah.
What are the goals for that one, would you say? I know it's obviously your first pro race this season. You've done pro races before, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've done 3 pro races. So
Yeah.
I've not actually done many, to be fair. I just want to go in there and basically see where I'm at the pro level.
Yeah.
Because I've had such a difference in results. So the first time was like 1 hour 18, completely new to it. Second time I come back and I bosh out 58, but it's Berlin and it's outdoors and it's a perfect running course. And then I go into Worlds and I do 66 minutes. So like they're all very different. I just want to get like a time where I know I've gone into it, I've trained well, I've paced it well, and actually see what I'm capable of.
Yeah, and I think that's what me and Emily were saying as well, like you can't really compare race to race.
No, you can't.
Because the courses are different. I feel like doubles is a bit easier to compare races, especially if you're with the same partner. But with a solo, it can vary so much from venue to venue.
Yeah.
And I think HYROX are doing a better job now trying to make it a bit more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the laps make a massive difference.
Yeah, agreed.
From what it should be. Like you were saying, Berlin, outdoor course, you've got one straight 1K, you can absolutely blitz it.
Yeah.
Whereas if, say, you're doing somewhere like Birmingham or Manchester, you've got to do your 3 or your 2 laps. You're having to cut about from people.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to overtake. And I think for like obviously people like yourself who are wanting to like climb the rankings, reach Elite 15, it's the consistency needs to be a little bit there, a bit more.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think the only thing I sort of compare when it comes to looking at races, like you can expect like 1 or 2 minutes either way per course.
I agree.
And then you're probably staying fairly consistent. And then of course you look at the stations, because the stations won't change. There's only a couple of other variables you can't control, like the heat, for example. Like if we was to do a workout in here now compared to outside,
frigging boiling.
it'd be completely different. So that's something to take into consideration. But when I look at my times and there's like a massive spread, then I know that's probably not down to course, but more about, one, obviously inexperience, and then the second one would be like race execution. So yeah, the goal for London is get the race execution piece right and just see where I'm at properly.
Yeah.
And know what to work on after that.
For sure. And I think obviously like with your background in the military and stuff, I feel like your mentality to race execution will be precision.
I raced in Poznan. That was like a shakeout. This is all part of the sort of the planning process for London, you see. And race execution on that day was really important for me. Used to fly out runs 1 and 2, get to the sleds, come out the sleds sort of in the top pack, and then get to burpees and just go like that.
Yeah.
Your sort of lactic turn point after about 30 minutes just went, I couldn't regulate it. Whereas Poznan, I ran the first run like I was going to run the last run as well. And you'll see like the run averages are just really consistent throughout. And that helped me manage the workload a lot better on the station. So that's the plan for London.
Yeah, I think that's something that everyone needs to realise as well. Like it's so easy to get carried away in that pack at the front.
Yeah.
We've seen, well, obviously when me and Zoe come and watch you and Dan do obviously doubles, like everyone starts at the front and they're like, they're gone, they're off.
Yeah.
But then the people who actually start at the front, they're the ones you pick off.
100%, yeah. So obviously I was training this morning with Harry Thompson, and he's a great example to watch of someone racing, right? You'll see from the start 10, everyone goes off at Mach 10, and then after about 5 seconds, you'll just see Harry run out, and he lets them go, and then he runs and he maintains that same pace the whole way around. And then it starts to show after the sleds who's set off too quick and who's not, who's managed the workload. So it's interesting just watching other people and seeing how they do it.
Yeah, and how would you say like you attack your mindset when it comes to dealing with that? Because it's so easy, especially with like new, like obviously we in our community, both our communities, there's a lot of newbies following us or like wanting to get into the sport, or people who have got a little bit more race experience who are wanting to do better. How would you say, like even like from your military side of things, how would you say your mindset has become better from dealing with, like, do you think that military mindset applies to obviously racing to deal with the pressure, the adrenaline levels a lot better?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's not. It's not an easy or comfortable race. Like
No.
we've obviously both done quite a lot of them now, and it's like having the awareness of knowing exactly what you're going into. You do HYROX on HYROX terms. They tell you what time to start and when to do it. And if we was to do it on our terms, you know, we'd probably pick optimal time to do it. You know, when we're feeling good and we go and attack it. But yeah, we don't have the luxury when we're doing HYROX. They tell you when you have to do it, and you have to sit there and wait all day and sort of manifest how it's going to go and picture it. But knowing full well what you're going into. But from what you're asking there in terms of like a military mindset perspective, we're so used to doing stuff as like a team, as a group. And although it's an individual sport, you know, there is God knows how many 100 or 1,000 people that day that are all doing the same thing. So you're all feeling the same way. You've all got that sort of pre-race nerves. So you kind of just put that to the back of your mind and sort of accept that I'm here, I'm going to work hard, but so is everybody else. We're all going to feel the same.
Yeah, and I think it's so easy to get in your own head of being like, oh my God, I'm the only person who's feeling like this. When it's just not the fact of the matter. The people who are like, we're literally watching the Elite 15s while we're doing this podcast because we're going to be going over that as well. But like even the Elite 15s will feel exactly the same on the race day as what us, well, I wouldn't say we're everyday people, but like normal everyday people would feel who are just doing it maybe for a bit of fun or things like that. Everyone literally feels the same. And like you said, you are in it as a team. And I think that's why the bond in the HYROX community is so strong. Because everyone, I know you might not know it on a conscious level that everyone is there in it together. But like on a subconscious level, your mind is probably a little bit at ease of being like, oh, like there is other people in this with me, not just me.
Yeah.
Even with if you are doing a solo or you are doing a doubles, like everyone is there in, I like to say, in the shit with you, because they are.
Yeah. And I think also as well as like you see a lot of content on social media and people will be like, and even me, I could be probably full foul of this, making out as if in the moment I'm absolutely loving it.
Oh no.
And people will be like, God, he's actually enjoying this. I don't think I would. But in the moment, I think if anyone says that they're really enjoying it, they're probably lying or they're not working hard enough. So yeah, it's something to consider. Whether you're an elite athlete, a recreational athlete, or someone that's new, guaranteed you'll all be feeling the same.
Yeah, for sure. And just going back to that point of like people watch people on social media and think it looks easy. The content Jack puts out of me on social media, I look like I'm not even breaking a sweat. He's a very, very good videographer. Let me tell you, I am dying on the inside. I'm absolutely, get me to the burpees in pro women on my own.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, I'm actually done. And yeah, we can put this, like, it looks easy on social media. It's not easy. Everyone is exactly the same. That's why anyone who's new to this, I always recommend that you go and watch the race and see how diverse the race is.
Yeah, 100%.
There is so many different people. And what I love as well is the people who are doing it just to have a bit of fun, to push themselves to that next level and see what they're actually truly capable of. And I don't think that is shown as much on... I think HYROX are doing a very good job now, UK, of showing and spreading that awareness that normal everyday people do this sport.
Yeah.
But I think, like, as ambassadors as well, we are sharing more stories of like normal people training as well. And I think that's really, really important because we've literally just had a conversation of how many hours a week we train. We probably spend an hour, 10 hours, 12 hours a week. Some people can only spend 5 hours.
Yeah.
Some people are spending 25 hours. And it's like everybody is different, and what you see on social media is not a comparable of what you should actually be doing for yourself and what is relevant to your lifestyle. And I think it's very hard to not get caught up in that comparison, especially with us as well, who are wanting to do well within the sport.
Yeah.
It's hard, like, oh, can we not reach that level without spending and committing that much amount of time? And I think we can, But until something gives, to be able to sacrifice to put that goal a little bit further, there could be a potential cap, because we'll have different stresses to what them full-time athletes will have.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was thinking about this on the car on the way here, like the pool of HYROX UK ambassadors. And yeah, there's a couple of like elite athletes in there, of course, like Jake
Incredible.
Dearden. But then you've also got people that are juggling being full-time employed. They've got families and children. So hopefully we're sort of showing how accessible it is. Like you say, we might get 10 or 12 hours of training in a good week, but I also know people in that same pool of individuals, in that same group of ambassadors, that might not get that luxury. But just showing that how accessible it is as a sport. And not to get sucked into the hype of what you might see on social media, because we all know, we all put our good bits on social media most of the time. Or the bits that look slightly punchy and hard to give ourselves our own some credibility. But as a sport in general, like HYROX, it's we all finish it being like, wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
But during,
Absolutely
not so fun. So if anyone says it is fun during, or they're smiling like I do half the time, they are, just hiding the pain.
Honestly, it was wild watching that race with you and Dan. Like, I mean, it was great. It was an incredible race to watch between you, Dan, and obviously Billy, and I can't remember Billy's partner's name.
A guy called Matt, I believe, yeah.
Matt, like watching you lot, like you was having fun, but it was competitive fun.
That's it, yeah.
It was absolutely incredible to watch, and like you did look like you was having fun, but also at the same time you was like, it's fucking hard.
Yeah. That's the first ever race I've ever done, and I want more like that, where it's a bit of like friendly competitive spirit. You know, obviously Billy brought the energy that day.
Billy's just main character energy all the time, and I love it.
I remember sitting on the rower and I got on it, and I must have been rowing like 1:35 pace, and I was chatting to people. I was obviously chatting to yourself, and Billy went, "Stop talking." I went, "I'm rowing 1:35 pace. I can keep talking all day." And then he went, "Hold it." And then obviously he challenged me then. I had to hold 1:35 the whole time I was on the rower, and then I remember just getting off it and like slowly dropping to like 1:40, 1:45. But yeah, that probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't have a pair next to me sort of giving me that competitive push.
I think it's good to have that little bit of competition as well.
Yeah.
Like, even if you are doing it for fun, like to push yourself a little bit more, of like seeing someone in the distance being like, I'm going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
Like, you might not even know them, you don't probably know who they are, even if they're going like slower than you, just to be like, I'm going to push myself to push past you. Just to push myself. And I think that's the beauty of the sport as well. It's about pushing people to the extraordinary.
Yeah.
Like, people who do HYROX are not normal people. I wouldn't say that we're normal, I'm not gonna lie, and I would love that fact that everyone is always there to better themselves.
Yeah, it's that sort of constant pursuit of trying to be better. And I think people ask me all the time, like, why is it HYROX? Why not, like, say, CrossFit or, another sport? But because it's a standardised race format, you know exactly where you stand and you know where you're improving and where you're not. So yeah, I think that's why it's that sort of constant sort of pursuit of trying to get better, going into the gym, and that's probably why people are like, these HYROX maniacs, what's going on? Why is it taking over their life? And it's because there's something measurable where you can show progress. Yeah. I think that's why it is, and obviously it's standardised, and everyone can do it, and that's why we are a bunch of maniacs.
Yeah, wow, actually crazy. But I would agree. I've been asked why don't you just do a running race, or why don't you just lift in the gym?
Yeah.
There's no purpose.
That's it. Yeah, I was chatting to a guy yesterday, and he was sort of in a marathon training block, and I said, "Have you ever heard of HYROX?" And he's like, "No, I've not heard of it."
Sorry, but who's not heard of HYROX?
I know. Yeah, honestly, there's people that they haven't. Yeah. And I just said, look, whatever you go and do in that gym, in one way or another, you will be adding value somewhere into your HYROX training. You want to go in there and do back and buys, it's going to add value somewhere. You want to go in there and just go for a run on the treadmill, you're going to add value. And that's the beauty of it. Like, the sort of training modalities that people are doing at the minute are all kind of different. Mm-hmm. Everyone's finding their feet and their own way of what is the perfect way to train for it, because no one really knows yet. But what we do know is it needs to be varied with an element of specificity.
Yeah.
I can't say the word.
I can't. Do you know what? I can't say it, and I've got these retainers in now, and I'm like specificity. I'm like,
With an element of specific training. So yeah, that's what makes it so interesting.
yeah,
You know, one day you're doing upper strength, lower strength.
yeah. Like, have you done the HYROX course yet?
No, is it sort of the foundation coaching
So
element?
they've got the foundation, the level 1, and they're bringing out the level 2 for the new year. And even in through that, like they're very big on saying like try different training modalities to get better for the sport.
Yeah.
Like HYROX know how to train for the sport, obviously, but they're saying there is no best or wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
So find a way that finds fun for you.
Uh-huh.
And I think that is so important, because if you have fun and you're literally waiting till that finish line moment to see, oh, this is what I've achieved, to have fun with it, you're doing it all wrong. Because I think if you don't enjoy the journey to it, what is the actual point to go in that pursuit, spend them hours in the gym? And I don't know whether it's my just way of thinking, but like, I wouldn't want to do something, spend hours a week, 10, 12 hours of my week doing something that doesn't make me happy or fulfilled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's wild that some people initially do it to achieve that goal and have this pedestal moment. But I think once they've done a few races, got that race experience, they can then start to realise that the journey is so much more important than just that number on that screen at the end.
Mm-hmm. You're either in or you're out, really, aren't you? Like some people, it's the idea of the accomplishment and going, do you know what, I've done a HYROX. You know, look how hard this is. Look on social media. Look at all the stuff that they made me do. Like I've done that. And then you've got the group of people that do it once and they're like, okay, I can get better at this. And then that's where it becomes that journey of self-betterment. Obviously, there's sort of highs and lows in that, and progress is never linear, but it catches you and it gets you and it draws you in. And sort of 14 months later, here we are. Chatting HYROX, doing HYROX.
Chatting HYROX, doing HYROX, travelling
Watching
the world,
HYROX.
watching it.
So yeah, if I keep looking over in that direction, that's because the Elite 15 race is on.
This is Danny's future competition.
Oh, one day. Like I say, it's a sport for years.
We was having this conversation before as well, saying like,
I like this guy.
he's amazing what he's been through.
He jumps off of cliffs and just does all this mad stuff.
Yeah, he's incredible. Like for what he's been through as well.
Yeah.
Like all them health conditions. We're on about Ryland, by the way. To have come back from it and be able to do what he's just done and come third in Amsterdam.
Do you know what I like about that guy as well? I recently followed him on social media, and to be fair, a few of the elite athletes are like this. It's their transparency about how they're training, how they're feeling and what they're doing.
Do you know what as well, what I've noticed? All the elite athletes are very transparent about what they're doing.
Yeah.
However, if you come down to the people who are just below that, or like in the top threes and going to worlds and stuff, I don't feel like it's everyone, because I feel like there is more transparency about it, but there's a lot of people keeping the cards close to the chest, and I just think there's nothing too hard. Like, the only competition is you at the end of the day, and that's another reason why I like HYROX, because no one is ever finishing last.
Yeah, 100%. And if there's people that want to look at some of the elite athletes on social media and get a feel for what they're doing insight-wise with their training, Jonathan Wynn and another one springs to mind, Rylan Shadegg, they share everything. John Wynn, he'll put all of his sessions on there, he'll put his heart rate on there, he'll put his paces on there, he's not scared.
No. Because they know their only competition is themselves.
Yeah, and they want to bring more people into that, make it more exciting as well. And
I think on the female side of things, Megan Jacoby's very good at that as well.
Yes, yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
And Lauren Weeks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even Kate and Zara.
Yeah.
They're very transparent about what they're doing, and I really love that.
So I used to look at John Wynn's workouts, and I'd be like, right, we're kind of doing the same thing, but what sets his workouts apart from mine? Like, I'd look at his running, for example, I'd be like, yeah, I feel like my running's roughly there, but what is it that makes his training so different? And it's that long duration of threshold work. So I'd look at my training and go, okay, I've done 3 15-minute AMRAPs there with 2 minutes recovery between each one, but John is doing 45-minute AMRAP without the rest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the distinct difference. Obviously, there's a reason why I have to do 3 15s. It's so I can push those 15s really hard. But obviously for John, he's like, well, I want to prove that I can work for 45, 60, 70 minutes without that rest. And his rest period will be, say, for example, a active recovery on an echo bike. So yeah, there's a lot to learn from these
The
elite
elites.
athletes, 100%.
And as well, like, they're not doing hard sessions all the time.
No.
So, like, when we're saying we're spending 10, 12 hours a week, that's not
Mm-hmm.
10, 12 hours a week of hard training.
No, so I went to a
absolutely
seminar.
love it when you put them videos on of you on the treadmill. I've just been staring at the thingy. what was it? Staring at the wet paint sign or something?
clear away the weights, and you're just staring at that sign for 70 minutes. Yeah. Always choose the track if I can.
Oh.
But yeah, training split-wise, I went to a seminar and Hunter was talking about training 20 hours a week. And he said
amount of training.
14 hours of that is easy. Whether he's sat on the bike or he's going for an easy run.
You need the heart. It's the aerobic capacity building. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, I was having this conversation with Rob the other day. Like, even though I'm fast, my aerobic actual capacity is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my heart rate just shoots up straight away.
Right.
Like, but I can hold it at threshold.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it's very, very weird, and we're just trying a few different things within my training at the moment to see what we can do to try and lower that a little bit. Because obviously working at 190 when it's meant to be recovery is like terrible.
There's like an analogy, and you draw you might have heard it, you know, sort of the triangle analogy. I'm going to like try and draw it for the camera now.
Yeah.
And they say like the bigger that base is, the more volume, sort of, you know, like
It's more stability that you can build on top of that.
exactly that. Yeah, and then the smaller the base, the smaller the amount of volume in there, work capacity wise.
Yeah, I
Here we go.
agree.
Got a nice fast start, standard.
Lovely.
Um,
Who do you want to win?
Sandy,
I agree.
especially after the Worlds. I want to see.
I want to see his come back and smash it.
Yeah.
Um,
He spent a lot of time, obviously, working and training in, where was it, Doha? Middle East.
yeah.
And he then competed in Nice, and Nice was really hot indoors, wasn't it?
Very hot.
And I remember thinking, like,
This is his race.
his heat acclimation from being and working out there, like, people won't recognise how important that is.
No.
And he's just been out to Thailand.
I said this to Steve, my nutritionist. I said, like, if I was to do a race abroad, what would you recommend? Would you suggest I go out, like, say, 4 weeks early? Or this is when I'd be taking the race seriously. But would you say go out 4 weeks early so I can acclimatise to that heat? And he was like, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It's another important thing, actually, heat acclimation. I didn't realise until World Champs.
When it was hot.
So it was like training in a greenhouse, yeah. But some people were okay with it and some people just weren't. I was one of the people that weren't. I think I spent 6 minutes in the rock zone just trying to cool myself off.
Yeah.
So I had a few consultations with an Instagram account, a guy called Gareth Sanford, who's, you know, very educated.
Yeah.
And we talked heat acclimation and...
This camera needs heat acclimation.
Does it need some...
Is it all right? Yeah.
We spoke heat acclimation and he said your blood plasma takes about 5 to 7 days to thicken and therefore acclimatise. And he recommended doing 30 to 60 minutes in the sauna post-session in the lead up to a race. And obviously that's quite a lot of stress, isn't it? You know, doing a session, getting in the sauna.
What type of session?
Any session.
Any session.
But yeah, you know, he always said, make sure you do it with someone, make sure someone's watching you. But he's talking about like Olympic athletes because he was a part of the Olympic team for athletes doing Tokyo, which was very hot. And I'm like, I'm just a normal dude who trains in the gym.
No, you're not normal no more. He's not normal.
So I've had to make some adjustments where I've now got like a sauna steam room in my room, which you might have seen.
Oh my God, yeah, I saw that. I said, Cal, can we get one for the flat?
It's literally like 60 quid from the range.
He went, Liam, we're not doing that. But do you know what my argument is? His golf club can live in the flat. My steamer sauna can.
Honestly, it's literally like this big. It's like a little booth. I sit down in it. It's got a little fold-out chair, and I just sit there listening to some music. Again, just staring at nothing for 45 minutes. Just like
Our training is spent at staring at walls or nothing for 40 to 60 minutes at a time.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, it's so funny.
But yeah, heat acclimation is such a big thing, and actually, I'm not going to keep talking about it because it is boring. But like,
No, but it's true
important.
though. Like, if you wanted to take things seriously and you're racing abroad in hotter countries,
yeah.
Stockholm race, that'll be bliss. It'll be freezing. Do you know how cold it is there now? -7.
That's what I mean. Like I spent a week in St. Vincent doing an island challenge, and I was running at threshold every single day for a minimum of an hour and a half. and it was hard, but the longer that I was there, the more acclimatized I got. I come back, I competed in Birmingham. It felt cold indoors. And I was like, okay, I get it now.
You can push.
Heat acclimation to push to your, optimal capability from a performance standpoint is so important, and something that probably a lot of people overlook.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously these guys and girls in the elites who have been out in Hong Kong
And full-time athletes.
for the last sort of week or so.
Sandy's been out there for 2 weeks, hasn't he?
Thailand. Yeah.
But
This
look
is-
at it. Look at his split. It's wild. What's your stroke rate on the ski normally?
So I hold about 148, but
Nice.
that's me being cautious and obviously executing the race with a bit of.
That's me at threshold. Just
where-
just for context. That's me at threshold.
Well, they say go off your 2K best effort time and take 5 seconds off. I can't remember what I averaged my 2K time. It was 6:58 ski.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember in the Worlds, came into the ski second and I was holding something ridiculous like 142,
Yeah.
which is probably what these guys are doing now. But I paid for that later on, down to things like heat acclimation, of course. And
Yeah. And also as well, like diet as well when you're in the hotter countries.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously have to cool yourself down a lot more internally,
yeah,
which people don't realise, and it's such a massive factor in it. Like even London with me was hot. Like you race in London as well, like in Olympia, that is a greenhouse.
yeah, it is, yeah.
So like making sure that your internal body temperature is cool through your nutrition. So like dosing up on like watermelon, iced coffees, slushies, things like that to cool your core temperature down is really important. Like it's not going to really be relevant at this time of year, but if you're watching this in the summer period, heat acclimation and actual proper nutrition will be 10 out of 10 for you. But do you not think, like, you can't see the screen now, but if you're watching back, Sandy's technique for the ski is different compared to everybody else's?
Because he's got big long limbs and he's like 90 odd kilos, so he's just pure torque, isn't he? Torque is in like power torque.
Yeah, he's strong.
But he does look like he's going hard.
He's got a...
He's
Like,
got a point to prove.
But look at the difference on the screen. So, like, first place at the moment, there's about 40 metres difference. And Alex as well, he's caught up as well in fourth. Both big lads.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this plays out.
And
It's always after the sleds.
Even Rylan as well, he's caught up.
Oh, yeah, of course. There won't be a great deal between this whole race.
And Graham.
But Graham and people like John Wynne, they know how to start. They know how to execute the race so that they perform the best.
Of course, it's these
people like
two.
Graham knows he's going to get into the wall balls and do them unbroken.
Yeah,
The race really starts after the sleds, doesn't it?
yeah, for sure.
Look at the way JK runs the rock zone. Well, I'll take that back. In JK's world, there is no rock zone.
Yeah, there's
It's
not.
8 by 1.1 kilometre runs.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, of which you just run the same pace the whole time. It's an interesting way to look at it as well, because if you picture the rock zone, you will run your 1 kilometre splits fast, and then you'll get to the rock
And
zone.
you slow down.
You lap your watch, and I don't take the mick, but I do find it funny when people are like, run the rock zone. Obviously, yeah, you run
Yeah,
the
you
whole
run it.
thing. But what they really mean is like, don't do any gear changes. Don't run these 1K splits and then just sort of like go, I've done my run, now I can sort of pace it into the station. See that as 8 times 1.1 runs and
Yeah.
pace them the same.
I agree, because me and Emily have just spoken about this, and it's like you do clock out as soon as you're hitting that rock zone.
Yeah, you do a little bit, don't you?
You do. You're like, oh, no one can actually see me in this bit.
Yeah.
No one can see me in this bit. Maybe they need people stood in the rock zone, like a little section for people to be like, people are still watching you.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
I used to go, right, I'm going to run my 1K split and I'm going to regulate my heart rate in the rock zone before I hit the station.
Well, that's what people, when the sport first come to the UK, that's what people was originally saying and suggesting to do. Slow that kind of 100 metres down coming out so you can regulate and then go fast again on the run. But realistically, how do you know you're regulating until you're on that run?
Yeah. And what the risk of doing that is you run your runs too quick, you go into those higher heart rate zones, and once you get there and your body's trying to flush out lactic acid, it can't because your heart rate's too high.
Yeah, it's wild. Tim's doing well.
Yes,
Bit of a dark horse, isn't he, at times?
He came second, I think, overall in Birmingham.
Yeah.
But I always find these races interesting because...
You don't know who's going to...
Yeah, there's no one else out on the track. Is this a 3-lapper or a 2-lapper?
Oh, I don't actually know. Maybe I should have a look at that one.
I would love to be in one of these races.
It's 2 and a bit.
2 and a bit?
So
Okay.
it's 3. It's 2 and a bit because I've got a client racing over in Hong Kong.
It's just what really sets these elite athletes apart from your recreational athletes. It's the time in training and the background. So some of these, you know, let's look at Tim Venish. I don't know his background, but I would assume he was probably a very high level runner.
Yeah.
Ronkovic. Swimmer, yeah. And it goes to show that big aerobic base.
Wings.
Rylan said he used to train 13 to 15 hours pure aerobic back in the day, each week.
It's teaching your body to run off. This is why they're all so lean as well. Running on your fat stores rather than your glycogen stores.
Yeah, see, that's...
Which is a massive shift in training as well. Like, that aerobic capacity, it matters.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really does matter.
If you can keep your heart rate down, I mean, obviously you've got to be quite low for that metabolism to take place, and you're using that as a
It's zone 2,
energy
isn't
source.
it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
This is interesting.
They're very, very close. Like you said, it'll be interesting to see who breaks up after these sleds.
They're looking like they're moving a bit slower than normal. The carpet
They
on
said this on the women's.
Yeah, you can tell already because normally...
They're flying with them.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Do you know if they've got different, like, carpets and stuff?
So, I think the big variable here is what's underneath the carpet and how much that carpet's being used.
Birmingham.
Yeah, versus Poznan. I remember pushing the sled and it was like... You ever pushed a sled on Astro and it just glides?
No way.
It was like really thick carpet. There was no give. I don't know the correct way to describe it, but it just basically felt like it was... There was no friction. That's the word I'm looking for. No friction. But then come the end of the day when the pros were racing, the sleds didn't matter because the sleds were normal times. You know, I just happened to be one of the first waves of the men's open division, second person on that lane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just glided. So, yeah, for example here, this...
They're stopping and starting. That's not normal.
Are they breaking them up more than what they would normally break them up?
Well, in Nice, I remember
Sandbach.
Sandy. Well, he's gone down to 5th. I remember Sandy in Nice. He was just lapping, like, he was just lengthening it.
So they all did a full length, didn't they?
Yeah,
Each to
and they're not doing it this time.
Interesting because, like we know, it will be the sled pull where we start to see it spread.
Yeah.
But yeah, those sleds look tougher than...
The normal. And these are very strong athletes.
Yeah, I wonder how they really nail down the standardising of this because there's only so much you can do. Like, people will pick it apart, you know, some courses compared to others, but you can only race with what's put in front of you.
Yeah, you can, and that you can literally race to race. But also as well, like, what was I going to say then? It's gone.
Another, yeah. What was that there that he just did? What do they call that? Dabbing?
Did he just dab?
I think he did a dab, yeah. I'm not current, but I feel like that
You're
was
not
a
doing
dab.
the kids on that one.
We used to, how old
Danny,
am I?
no.
I'm 20.
No.
I'm 29 now, but I feel like that was something that we used to do when I was
Zoe,
18.
if you're watching this.
Trust
No.
me, right? If I'm racing, you won't see that. I won't ever do that. I'll just make an example of what this guy done. He's from Manchester,
Yeah,
isn't
he is from Manchester. He's doing well.
Ex-United Academy player. He looks like he's put a bit of size on in terms of he's
Look at
less...
them. They're all coming out at the same time.
Less
This
lean.
is a very, very good race. Very good race.
I was saying the other week, I feel like I'm a bigger fan than what I am a competitor.
Yeah.
I will go and stand in a HYROX venue and watch people all day.
It's more draining though.
It is very draining.
It's more draining than watching.
See this here, right? Geoffrey Vossen.
Yes.
Can't pronounce his name very well because he's French. You look at that now and you think, oh, he's not running very quick.
But he is.
He is running quick. Yeah. That guy's moving.
Is that not Rylan?
Yeah. He's got his glasses on.
Yeah, well, I don't know why.
Right, he's just dabbed and now he's got his glasses on. I like this guy.
He is American. He is American and I love
and
it.
he jumps off cliffs and does all kinds of mad
He's a cool guy,
extreme
isn't he?
sports.
Is he a Red Bull athlete as well?
No, he's his own athlete. He's his own guy.
Right, okay.
I think he's just bought a trailer and he's going to convert it into a home as well. I followed this guy on Instagram a couple of weeks ago and he's got me hooked.
Hook, line and sinker?
Yeah, I'm just very interested.
What do you watch? That's also another question. Like,
Yeah, so...
Do you track your run? I don't.
I run only so I know I'm consistent. I press the lap button. I don't have GPS, obviously.
What have you got? A Garmin?
Garmin. I stick it to cardio or I stick it to indoor run.
Which Garmin? Because I know people will ask, what Garmin?
Garmin Phoenix 6.
Oh, have you got the Phoenix?
Any old Garmin would do, to be honest. Like, you could get yourself a £200 Garmin, it will do the job. As long as it shows your heart rate and you can time something.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important thing.
I think I'm going to get a Garmin because my Apple Watch... Have you run with an Apple Watch before?
I've seen other people run with them. I've never had one.
Pacing.
I'm a military man, you see. It's all about the Garmin.
It's not about the fashion. Not about the fashion with the thingy. But my Apple Watch... So, like, for example, me and Carl went on a run the other week. We did a 5K. We went with a group of lads who live in the building because we've got a run club. How good's that?
You've got a run club here?
Yeah, we've got
This building's getting better and better.
You're moving in next week. I'm joking.
So we're like, oh, yeah.
We went on a run. The lads had a Garmin. We running at the same pace. Mm-hmm. My pacing was saying we was doing a 6:30. The lads were saying we was doing a 5:30.
Yeah.
Then when we were coming like towards the end, we finished. The lads had finished at 5K, but mine would still said I had 400 metres left.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, like sort of GPS dramas and then also heart rate.
And I also think it is so... Oh, my God, don't get me started on heart rate.
Yeah.
That's why I've just bought a MyZone, because my heart rate on this, it's saying I'm very... Like, it's saying I'm at 200 beats per minute pretty much every single session I do.
Yeah.
But then my MyZone, it's about 20 beats per minute off this.
Yeah, no, they are. They're sort of like, as an everyday watch, Apple Watch, fine, it will track everything. But if you want something that's really geared towards training and fitness, then Garmin or, yeah.
Yeah, Garmin, if you want to have a conversation.
This guy, Rylan, is now first into sled pull. And he's having a lot of fun with it. Who have we got in second? Ronkovic, JK, Tim Venish, and No Sandy. Do you know what I think?
Wow. Where is he?
You know when we was talking earlier about the ski erg?
Do you reckon he's gone too hot?
I don't know. I remember looking at him thinking that he's going for like, who knows? Who knows? I'm not sure.
He'll have a strategy.
Yeah.
Trust the strategy.
He should have been world champion, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, Rylan said he doesn't know whether he was going to race in this one or not.
He just managed to get to fitness. He's got a belt on as well. He's probably got about a kilo's worth of gels in there and water.
He's got water in it. That's what he does. I think it's very tactical to do that.
Some people sweat a lot, don't they, and lose a lot of salts.
Well, I think it's more to do with his heart rate and what was happening with his heart.
Right, okay.
That's why he's took it with him. If I could be arsed with something sloshing about on my back or on my front, I'd take water. God knows where Sandy is, though.
I was just about to say, yeah. There's like seconds in it. Yannick Chapala. He is new on the Elite 15 roster.
Wow.
He's a
Who
German.
took Jake's place?
Fabian Gast.
Right.
I'm still learning everyone's names. That Yannick won Berlin when I was there. Did it in like 56 minutes.
Unreal.
Went past Alex there as well. Alex lost a lot of time on that sled pull. It's unusual.
John Wynn, the military man in there as well.
I think he's good. They're all good athletes. Everyone in the Elite 15, anyone who's in that top 30 bracket in HYROX is incredible athletes, I feel, across the board.
We're engrossed now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're like, we need to watch this.
Trainer socks versus...
Trainer socks.
Are you a trainer socks girl?
I can't wear. I feel like my ankles are being smothered.
See, I
like
have
the
to wear.
breathe.
I have to wear.
No. Cal does that.
So yours, that's like a half. I
But
would.
that isn't what I normally wear. I normally literally just wear like a proper trainer sock.
Yeah, Zoe's like that as well.
Because if I've got anything on my ankle, I don't know, I feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah,
That's so weird. It's very, very weird, but having that tag on my ankle is enough for me.
It's like when you see people wear the arm sleeves and the leg sleeves. It's too hot in there for me to do that.
Do you really think they're that effective?
I don't know. I think is it to do with promoting blood flow?
Yeah.
I remember I wore compression shorts one time, and to be honest, I felt like it made me worse off. Like I felt like my legs were cramping quicker. Maybe it was just placebo, I don't know.
But you see a lot of these athletes, they're not wearing any sort of like two-in-one shorts, are they? Unless they're just wearing the skin short. Which, no offence, but I find that really icky.
The skin tight shorts? Yeah.
Really icky.
I like a short that's got a pocket big enough for
A gel or something.
a gel and some chalk. I love this guy, he's got his glasses on.
It's such a cool vibe.
Why is he having so much fun out there? It's not that fun.
Well,
It's
they're going
hard.
to do it sub 60. All of them, by the looks of it.
So this is the thing, right? As I was talking about earlier, being sort of stoic and, well, stoic's probably the wrong word because smiling is the opposite of being stoic. Stoic means to show no emotion, but smiling and having fun. Ryland's doing that now, but I guarantee he's feeling
Dying
it.
on the inside.
Yeah.
But-
that's his way of handling.
It's also a psychological trick.
Exactly, yeah. That's why I chat when I'm on the rower. I chat to people, but really,
He's dying.
yeah. Oh, there we go.
Graham, well
Graham.
done, lad.
That's him growing into it. Awesome. That's good.
Very, very close.
Where's our man, Sandy? Is he still racing?
I don't know, I can't see him. Because there's three gone.
I'm not convinced.
Can you, Jack, can you just turn it up a second just so we can...
Is it this one here?
Yeah, it is good.
I would love to be racing amongst these guys. Honestly, I give it a couple of years.
Yeah.
And some,
And this is the thing, long game with HYROX.
yeah.
It's the long game with it because in a couple of years, these lot all have had their time and be retiring.
Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of
'Cause
like young up and coming athletes that
You're one of them.
are touching it. Yeah, but even younger than me.
Charlie Bottrell.
There we go. Perfect example. He came second to Tim Venish, and look at Tim Venish. He's winning this race.
Sandy's also been quite open on this as well about his first few races last year. He just pulled out, didn't he?
Yeah. It's not only the physical side of things.
mental
it's
taxing.
mental, yeah. And like, I've also experienced that side of things as well, where like it's not really going for you, and you almost feel like you want to pull the pin, but you pull the pin once, you'll keep doing it. Even in training, like I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I've got another round to do. I could just call it right now. But if you do that once, you keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like
So-
me with my engine session today.
Yeah.
It's 8 rounds of pure hell.
Like non-negotiable. You get in there and you do all 8 rounds, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly the thing is you miss one session,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy then to miss another session.
Yeah.
And then that's when you follow suit. And that's why I think having a coach, as you'll understand, is so important.
Game changing having a coach. I'm not a coach. Obviously, I know you're a coach.
I mean, coach Zoe.
Yeah. I could be a coach. I want to manage my time around work and training. Maybe one day, but like having a coach, it's obviously you've got that base of knowledge, but it's the accountability aspect of it as well. Let's be honest. If a coach has got 100 athletes, the sort of formula and the training program is going to look similar. It's going to be tailored to that individual and scaled appropriately. But like, regardless of how long it's took the coach to design your program, they've spent time on it. And that's for me what like I think about. Like my coach Dan, I know he spent time on the program, so I'm going to repay him by training
Doing it.
every day.
Do you know what that is like? And like even Rob, after Birmingham, I'm not gonna lie, my head completely went with training. Like I just was struggling so much to get into it.
Yeah.
And the amount of times I was just like, my body and my mind aren't just aligning with this session today. It's sometimes easier to just call it quits.
Yeah.
But then being able to speak to someone about that, to talk you around from it, get you back into that routine, and build you back up to where you need to be, is so important.
Yeah.
Whether you are doing it recreationally, whether you want to doing it to compete or complete, like just having people around you supporting you, because not everyone understands it outside of HYROX to be able to push you to that point.
Yeah.
And like you could know it all in the world, like you genuinely could, but do these elite athletes have coaches? 100%.
Yeah. I could sit there and write myself, you know, the perfect training program for me. But because I know I've done it, that's where it's easy to go. I love watching JK run the rock zone. He literally runs the rock zone. But it can be easy to go, do you know what? I'm going to move things around here because I'm not feeling it today. When potentially, yeah, it's probably normal to not be feeling great every single day during a training program. Like it's hard for a reason.
You can't.
But like it's easier to talk yourself into doing it when you know someone's put time and effort into you.
Yeah.
But also like to sort of caveat that there are genuinely days where like it's probably best not to train. Like I had a bit of a moment the other day with Zoe. It's actually on our YouTube. We pulled up to the gym at 8:30 ready to train, and I just said I'm not up to it. Simple as that. I'm not fueled. I feel run down, and I'm not ready to train right now. We put it off and we came back 12 hours later. Done it at night time.
Do you know what though? Sometimes you do have to do that.
Yeah, you got to. Like we're not robots. We're human. You know, if someone says they have a great day training, if they train well every single day,
Yeah.
it's probably not the truth.
No.
I'm starting to see as well, I don't know if you agree, like, yes, it's a nice equal split of running and functional work, but I feel like HYROX is slowly, like, the better runners are starting to pull through now. As in, like, obviously that sounds like a Michael Owen obvious thing to say, but, like, it's becoming more about running.
It is a running race though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But, like, those guys, let's take Hunter, for example, big, strong powerhouse who's a very strong runner. And then you've got guys who are very strong runners but not had the exposure to, say, like,
the strength element.
But now, like,
yeah,
those better runners are starting to come through now.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the thing with HYROX, you've got to be strong and you've got to be fast.
Yeah.
You can have one or the other, but for HYROX to work and for you to do extremely well in it, you need both. And that's something I found, especially now racing in the pro. My running's got stronger, but because I focus so heavily on running,
Yeah.
my strength has dipped slightly.
Yeah.
So that's something that obviously we're working on at the minute. But it is hard to marry the two up together,
Yeah.
I feel.
No, yeah, completely. It's like very marginal gains as well.
Yeah.
You know, I've been strength training for properly since I started the sport, but you know, it's not like my 1 rep maxes are going absolutely through the roof because of doing everything. And it's not like I've gone from running a 40-minute 10K to 32. You know, I've gone from running 40 minutes to 37. So it's like such marginal gains in it.
And I think as well you hit a capacity as well. And then you've got to kind of get over that bit of a mental block of being like, I can actually get faster than this.
Yeah.
When you're at a position now where you're like, oh, I actually didn't think I could be this fast. So just working with that.
See Graham Halliday there, he's only 51 seconds behind Tim Venish. And if he can keep that,
It'll smash him on the wall balls.
he'll get in there and do unbroken wall balls.
He's done it multiple times, hasn't he, unbroken?
Every time now, I think it's every time, yeah, he's at that point where he can just push through. Wall balls are so mental, as in like, yes,
It's
it's
a
physical.
mental battle.
It is, yeah, like, I remember at World, it took me almost 6.5 minutes
When?
at World Champs.
You and Zoe?
Well, now when I was on my own, like
Oh.
6.5 minutes, because I was mentally beaten by that point. I'd almost had like heat exhaustion. I was done.
Well, I'm not surprised.
But then, there's other occasions when you know you're in the race, you're doing well, that you can just power through.
Yeah. JK, I love it when he races me because he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But this race, he's held it, I feel. Very different race to what it normally is, this one.
That's what I mean.
Do you
Like,
not
you're
think?
normally used to see the big dudes just plough through the first part, but honestly, these smaller, better runners are starting to come through now.
But also as well, like, look at the stroke rate.
Yeah, it's
Like, it's not super high.
they will be doing like between 30 and 35 strokes per minute,
Yeah.
but they'll be rowing 145,
Because it's strong, powerful pulls.
maybe even less, some of them. I honestly love that guy's wearing glasses indoors. He needs to do wall balls with them glasses on, please.
Won't be able to see the frigging target.
That's it.
Go on, Graham.
He'll be happy right now, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I can't sit myself in the mind of Graham Halliday, but sitting in fourth,
Unreal.
ready for with wall ball still to go.
It's wild that they're, like, nearly done. At 33 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Almost finished, yeah. What's this looking like it's going to be? 33 minutes halfway through the row. Yeah.
It's sub 60.
Oh, yeah.
For
100%.
everyone, though. Not just for one, like, not just for top three, for all of them. Has he got one compression sock on?
Yeah, so he's got
Ah, okay. Deep vein thrombosis.
He's got that, yeah. That's what ruled him out of the Worlds.
Ah,
I was chatting to someone who's like a avid rower, and I showed them my running form, really similar to what you see here. I was like, how can I make my rowing better? And something that maybe people don't consider. And when, I don't know the correct terminology for rowing, but obviously they pull it back here, but this bit here, you're meant to push your arms forward as fast as you can.
right.
And then what that obviously does, it shortens the time between the pulls and keeps the fan going. But it doesn't require any effort to do that, does it?
No.
Because there's no tension. And I tried it in the gym, and you just watch your times, they're so much better. But obviously you
they?
need to be focused.
Because one thing that I've always seen, and Megan Jacobi changed her technique in the last race, where it was pull back, second, then release down.
Right. That's probably so she can control her heart rate and stroke rate, yeah.
But if you're looking at the men, they are coming down pretty much. They're coming up and then they're coming down. I don't know, I also think men and women are different when
And
they're
then
on
you
the
look at
ergs.
Tim Venish there and Ryland, and how much closer Ryland gets to the front, whereas
Yeah.
Tim Venish is halfway, and he keeps his legs at like a 90-degree lock and drives with the legs.
Tim, if you rewatch this at some point, look at Kate Davey. That's amazing. Her transitions at the row, how smooth in a forward motion.
So we've got two people drop out, and it looks like it's Joffrey and Sandbach.
And she is off the row.
Oh no, Joffrey's in. Apologies, I take that
So
back.
who is it then?
Just Sandbach. Sandbach, however you pronounce it.
Has someone just come in then?
Yeah, Joffrey.
Right. There's so much grit from these athletes.
Yeah,
They are a different level.
find that extra gear. They're in a proper race there, aren't they?
Still,
Please, Dab, do it again.
no. Oh, no.
He's-
He gives the
what's
fingers.
This one?
What do we call this one in the industry
Hang
today?
loose, innit? Is it hang loose? No?
It's too cool for me.
Cal, oh,
So we've had a dab and a...
did you not see me at the end in Manchester? Is it Gustav? Gustav?
Mm-hmm.
He went, Leah, do a Sue. Leah, do a Sue. And Jack's got a video.
Did you do
Cal
it?
went, don't ever do that to me again. He went, don't ever do that. He went, Leah, that weren't even a Sue. I
Did
went,
you just like jump
I
and
was just high on life right there and then. I was just like,
Have you got footage of the Sue?
do you want me to show you?
Insert footage of Sue.
Jack, pour it in. Just pour it in just for the pure embarrassment for me. Let me find it. It's actually hilarious.
We were talking about, you know, the nutrition is becoming more
Yeah, he was like, please don't ever do that again to me.
training in the race here as well. You cannot push through this hour full gas without any added calories.
JK
wait.
overtaken. Very good. Interesting.
1 minute. Just wait for it. It's not even a Sue, Danny. It's ridiculous.
That's got fatigue written all over it.
Yeah, all over
got,
it.
That hasn't got Cristiano Ronaldo last minute goal.
That's nothing left. Oh. Yeah, put that on there. That's hilarious.
You in the situation right now, you know, you're at the limit, you're suffering.
I'm going to predict 55 finish. Maybe 56.
What we got? Run, farmers.
The run with the kettlebells on the
we're on for
farmers.
some serious time.
Do you reckon a world record?
Don't know about that.
Potentially got it out for grabs. How do you approach the rest of the race?
3:55 run. So those runs there, it's easy for people to look at the runs and go, oh, I can run that pace. But
No, you can't under fatigue.
there's no rock zone either for those, or there's no rock zone in the time.
No. So you had about 20 seconds on for that.
Yeah, so that run 1, for example, that would have been about a 3:10. Run
Yeah.
3. Where are we looking? Run 5, 4:08.
Oh, has he got cramp?
Oh, is that Bo Wills?
Ramping from Bo Wills, just as you're talking about him, is you talking about the potential of the unbreaking wall balls. And you know, what we're seeing there, that might just be that trip to Hong Kong. It's quite a journey.
Also, another thing as well, like, something that a lot of people, and obviously I coach this, so I'm very much in it, but like, how your body changes and develops through different training phases as well.
Yeah.
And like, your head playing games and you're like, oh my God, am I swollen right now? Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have I lost size because I've done the amount of running? Like, it really does play havoc on you, and I don't think that's spoken about enough, because like, in season training, you will be the fittest, probably the leanest, the strongest you'll have been, but your body will look completely different to what it is over the summer.
Yeah.
When you're building muscle, building strength, again. And it's that, I think it's more so for women more than men.
Well, I know where we're sort of going with this, but I can feel like that as well. Like, I look in the mirror one day, I'm like happy. You know, I look in the mirror the next, I'm like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
Me and Zoe sort of joke about it all the time. It's like, you know, I could go into Nando's and have double chicken wrap, loads of chips, loads of mash, pita.
Whatever.
The next day, I'm like, am I seeing things? It's like my body's gone, carbs, yep, I'm going to hold on to that. Because obviously they soak up water, don't they?
Yeah.
You hold the water weight. I don't know, I can be really like, I can get in my own head quite a lot.
I think as well that can affect your performance as well.
Mentally, yeah, you're like, oh, I'm feeling sluggish, I'm not feeling great.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what happened to me in
Wow. He's turned it up big time, JK.
Yeah. I think that's what happened to me in Birmingham. Like, I just
Just didn't feel great.
yeah, I didn't feel great.
Like, as in before you, like, great within yourself before
I
starting.
think performance-wise, I felt like impeccable.
Yeah,
But then actual feeling in my body, I just didn't feel great.
yeah. Does it make...
God, Alex is really like,
Ronkovic he's been having a bit of fun and travelling, hasn't he?
yeah. Won't happen again though, will it? rapid
You know,
these
but like we
boys.
said earlier, he's only just travelled to Hong Kong. You know, we're talking
But in
about
reality, he should have gone a bit
we're talking
earlier.
about heat acclimation. I think Ronkovic is probably one of the last to travel over there, and of course you've got the guy Heck who got put in last minute. But you know, living and training in Austria where it's cold it could be a case.
No, I agree.
There we go, Graham. I don't know how many qualifying spots are in this, but JK's already qualified.
It's the three roll down, isn't it?
Great. So Graham will be, his eyes will be lighting up at this.
Yeah.
Love that.
Graham Halliday essentially left the farmers carries together there, so he clawed back 14 seconds on Ryan Shadeg on the farmers carries. Decent gap wasn't it, on the farmers.
Thingy from Manchester's doing well.
Sadiq.
Yeah.
John Wynn as well. I don't know who that dude is. Heck, he's the one that got called in last minute then. So he's doing well. He's a big guy in person, that John Wynn.
How tall is he? But you're all right.
Taller than me.
Is he?
Yeah, he's very like big and lean as well. It's funny when you go and compete and you know, I'll go and do like a men's open race in the morning and I'll hang around all day and watch the men's pro. And then you know when a pro race is happening because everyone's like double the size.
Yeah, the
His background is any kind of like strength sport and sprinting. So what he's been focused
go and do sprinting.
Must have done, yeah. I thought his background was like bodybuilding and CrossFit.
Yeah, I thought it was more CrossFit functional.
He was definitely a non-runner, which is what makes it so impressive.
But it shows that you can do it when you've not come from a running background.
Yeah, he's a non-runner who learnt to run. He got really.
I'm a Graham Halliday.
Yeah.
I am a Graham Halliday.
Does always race very well as well. Like it's sometimes like borderline.
Doing it for the female Graham Hallidays out here.
Graham Halliday, can he do wall balls a minute faster than JK?
I feel like he could.
And is he running to keep that minute gap? It'll be bloody close.
Lunges. A few of them have stopped for cramp. So imagine when they get on the lunges.
Cramp. Heat acclimation again. Nah, I keep talking about it. But
Danny's just getting that in there, heat acclimation, guys.
yeah.
But also as well, like fueling, being abroad there.
Yeah.
They're going to be completely different foods.
Yeah.
Hydration. You're going to have to make sure that you've got access to, which you can do, access to bottle of water all the time. You can't obviously drink their water. You've then got to make sure that you slept well.
Not drinking alcohol and
I don't think these will have drank
these
alcohol
dudes are
before
not
this race.
No.
Made sure they drank enough, hydrated enough, slept well enough, but also arrived there in enough in time for not to feel the, obviously, if Alex has just gone from, where's he from?
Austria.
Austria. I always get confused with where he's from. But coming from Austria to Hong Kong, only like in the last few days.
I feel like, yeah, it was like this week, yeah?
It's a lot on the body. Well, you know when you've flown to a different country, even going on holiday, you feel fatigued.
Yeah. Dylan Scott's a great example of that as well. And he even comments on it, like the way he races in America compared to how he races when he's travelled to Europe, which is obviously where most of the big races seem to be. It's completely different.
Minus Worlds this year. Have you booked your ticket to Worlds?
Yeah.
Have you booked your flights?
Not yet. I don't know why
Oh,
I've not
Danny.
we were unsure what we're going to do. I think we're going to do make a bit of a holiday out of it.
Well, I've said to Carl, I'm manifesting that I'm going to qualify, whether it's for doubles or open.
Yeah.
We'll do a week over there, and then we'll go to Mexico for a week or two
That sounds
after.
fantastic, yeah.
I think that's really nice and what you need. 'Cause that's what Graham and Hannah did, didn't they? They did Worlds and then went
Straight on holiday.
straight on holiday. Exactly where you need it.
Yeah. Because then you're refreshed and you're ready to go again.
Yeah.
Okay, what we got then?
Tim Venish, Rylan, Halliday.
He's nearly done, JK.
I think has he done a length? Yeah, he's done a length. Or has he done 2?
He's done 2.
Right, okay.
This is ridiculously fast. What's the record, do you know?
53 something. Can you hear Venga Boys?
Yeah. This was on your race, you know.
I could not think of anything
This
worse.
was on your race in Macarena.
Stop it.
I swear to God, me and Zoe were dancing to it.
Do you know what it is, right? I always talk about the music and how good it is, but when you're racing, I never hear it. Apart from when I did wall balls the other day with Zoe, I could hear Chasing Status, and I was like, yeah, it is pricked up.
Jason says so, Badadam.
Yeah, that came on as well. I was like, yeah, this is perfect. But if you put Badadad on, I won't stop. I'll just keep going all day.
Me and Danny have this conversation every time, and if that is on in the arena, we just find each other and look at each other. It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
what was that?
But yeah, Venga Boys and Macarena, come on.
Oh God, what? Oh, they're making him move it back. Bloody hell!
Come on now, JK, run the rock zone.
Just finish it. Do you reckon he can do it in 3 minutes? What do you reckon on his last
the
run?
run, right, let's say it's going to be 3:50.
Right, do you reckon he can do it?
And no, he ain't going to do wall balls. Wall balls will take him 4, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
4 or sub, yeah.
What's the fastest you've done a solo wall ball?
3:58 in
Open up, no?
Berlin Pro.
Wow.
But do you know
God,
what it is?
that's rapid, Danny.
I had Faisal.
On you.
He came up to me and went, don't effing drop that ball. So I didn't. Obviously I did. I did like 50, then like 30, then 20. But that last
Do you
20.
go into a strategy with wall balls or?
Yeah, do as many as I can unbroken.
Yeah.
And then just, yeah, whittle the rest down. I think your second set again is like, I probably don't go unbroken on the second set. Half of it's probably mental, half physical, but say I do 50, I'll then do 20 to 30, and then I'll break the last 2 down. Depends how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm very much the same. I'll go in and try and do 30 to 50. First one. I've done 75 unbroken before.
Unreal.
In training. Training. Not the race. So I just want to be able to translate that to race day, and God, we'll be flying.
Yeah.
If that was, to be fair, in pro women, it's never been 75 wall balls, so that's gone. I quite like the rule change for women to the 100 wall balls.
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Oh, so the elite athletes, they can have their own supplements on the drinks table?
Oh, can
So
they?
that's one of the differences between our races and theirs. They can bring in their gels and water and leave it on a desk
Right, I didn't know
on
that.
the way out of the rock zone.
Oh, that's
Obviously,
good.
like when we race, it's Red Bull or water, isn't it? And then the rest
Oh
you've got
no,
to carry.
my protein electrolytes.
Have they got a stand inside the rock zone?
So no, they don't. But they have they have my protein electrolytes there now.
What? So you can get
So you
it
can
in the
pick-
rock zone? Oh, that's good. That's a
Because
game
I picked them
changer.
up in Manchester because I had cramp before lunch. Before the lunges? I got cramp before the lunges. Worst place you could get cramp.
Oh no, that's not the one.
I think they wanted to kick us out, but we're not moving.
Well, how long do you have it booked for? Like 2 hours?
I had it for 4 hours,
Oh,
so
no.
we're actually half an hour over. But oh well. We're only going to be in here another 10 minutes. Should I wrap it? Should I say we're wrapping it up now, but then...
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case, yeah.
I want that job.
On the scooter.
I want that guy's job, yeah.
HYROX, if you're watching.
I'll ride the scooter, I'll get... Someone else can film, but I'll ride the scooter and I'll just shout at them on the way around and be like, come on, you can do it.
I want him to hurry up though. I want him done. I'm saying that. If someone was telling me to hurry up in an elite race, I'd probably tell him to piss off. Be like, don't.
Halliday.
And yes, Greg, you said it before, you know, we haven't seen unbroken wall balls from James Kelly yet, but looking at the way it stands right now, does he even need them today?
No, he doesn't need it. A 17-second gap.
I love it. He's like smashing 55s consistently now, and well, I say he's not finished yet, but if I was a betting man, he's going to be in the 55 region.
Oh, well done. He's done amazing. They've not got the screens on this one.
That's good. I don't know how I feel about them yet.
I think maybe the technology needs to improve a little bit more.
No rep.
As we're seeing a no rep from James Kelly. Tim Vinish said it before, he is the strongest he's ever been, and he is definitely showing us here today that he is back and that
55 time this, innit, for a winner.
heading towards the world.
Yeah, between 55 and 56 somewhere.
But right now it is this showdown here between James Kelly.
Where's Graham?
100 wall balls to be done, full victory here, and James Kelly 23 wall balls done.
I feel their pain already.
So Tim
Do these get, do you know the yellow flag? If they do unbroken?
I'm not sure.
finishing 20, and the judges, he is getting the call right now. He needs to go lower. He needs to keep them clean in order not to be no reps here, Tim Vinish.
How do you feel about the gloves that they've been wearing as well? Like Hunter,
Oh yeah, like the
Jake wears them sometimes. Not Jake Dearden, Jake Williamson.
the mechanic. They're like mechanics gloves,
The
aren't
gardening gloves, aren't they?
they? I'd overthink it, me. I'm too hot right now.
Yeah, I
They're
would. I'd
making my
want to
hands
take them
clammy.
off.
But I like my substitute for that is I just have chalk in my pocket, liquid chalk, and I just squirt it on my hand on like the last lap
When you need it.
every time. Yeah.
Do you think you need it on the wall balls?
Sometimes the ball can be a bit slippy.
Into the rock zone, but James Kelly, our leader, he is 56 wall balls in already. And Tim Vinish, he needs to be careful right now. He's got 3 head judges around him, making it clear he needs to squat,
No rep again.
not going deep enough. Couple of no reps here.
Okay, right, come on, Graham. This is your time to shine. Let's get that spot.
For James Kelly.
He can do it.
Yeah. Because Ryland's already qualified. JK's already qualified, so we're looking at Venish,
And
Paleo, and Graham.
Graham.
And
But
we
there's
all
only
know
2 spots, isn't there?
2 spots.
I'm pretty sure it's 2. Is it 2 or is it 3 on this
I
one?
don't know. There's only 4 majors, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I think 3 have already qualified, so yeah, it must be 2.
Must be.
And then there's a last chance qualifier.
Yeah, because there's 15 spots, obviously, isn't there?
Yeah.
Tim Vinish had to take a couple of breaks here already, and we're looking at the chasers.
JK's stopped.
He's got a couple of no reps there as well.
They're all stopping, so if Graham keeps on going, he'll get it.
Graham Halliday sitting there at 35. He is close as well. Alex Ronkovic is down here as well. And remember, everybody, it is about the World Championship spots here as well. The final 3 wall balls for James.
Who's on? JK.
Take the win here,
Go on.
Go on, that's unreal.
Oh, bless him. Oh,
Straight to his misses, very nice.
5-16 that he's posting on the day in Hong
oh.
Kong. Incredible race. Tim Vinish is
I feel like crying. She's like, you're sweating. Just give
1
me
minute.
1 minute. Oh, is he saying number 1 or 1 minute?
I think, I don't know, I think we'll say give me a minute, but then there's cameras everywhere.
Oh, amazing.
Well deserved that.
Oh my God, look at his legs.
There's nothing worse being in that moment. It's so demoralising getting no reps. You just have to,
Dig deep.
yeah, you really do.
Right, go.
Mega. So he's qualified?
It's painful, that.
God. I look like something off of Call of Duty.
Emptied the tank on that one. He needs a medic.
Look at Graham
Look at
just
Gra-
chipping
so
away in the
strong.
background, yeah. He did it in Washington, didn't he?
Third. Come on, Graham.
Come on.
Come on.
That means he's about to finish.
Come on, Graham.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Unreal.
There he is. He's done it.
Unreal.
So that's him qualified. Yeah, perfect. Imagine that.
Amazing.
He can like. He
can relax now.
Yeah.
As much,
As
but
in, like,
you
the
know what I
pressure,
mean.
mentally, the pressure is off. Yeah, because he had to wait to Washington last time, didn't he?
And he's qualified as well.
That's class.
What a podcast. Very interesting. Obviously, good insight to what goes through our minds through the race. I think a lot of people get a really good insight as to what goes through our minds watching these men,
Yeah.
incredible athletes, but also as well, like, we are normal people too.
Yeah, 100%. Like we're just. What is it? We are. Obviously, we're ambassadors, but we're just enthusiasts. We're absolute HYROX
Obsessed with
enthusiasts.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
No, thank you so much for having me. I've
Really
enjoyed it.
good, I'm glad. Where can everybody find you, Danny? Instagrams,
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm just an Instagram guy. I'm at Danny Rae Hybrid, with a view of one day sort of documenting life in the army and training, but I just haven't made that leap just yet. But yeah, Instagram is where you'll find me, and I post sort of everyday training content, more to hold myself to account, because if I'm not uploading to Instagram, it means I'm not training. So
Yeah.
I have to keep uploading and therefore keep training.
And what's your Instagram?
At Danny Rae Hybrid.
Love that. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, download, all of that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one.